Infidelity isn't just a simple word. It's a deep wound that many men and women silently struggle with every day in their relationships. It often comes from pains that were never spoken but quietly settled deep in their hearts. This wound can happen to anyone, to ourselves, to someone we love, to any relationship. So why does infidelity happen? Why does a man who once loved with all his heart suddenly turn to someone else? It's not a sudden, random blow. Infidelity is like a silent volcano slowly erupting from inside. It usually doesn't start with lust. It starts with being ignored, from dry, lifeless routines and the heavy pressures weighing down your shoulders. Today, I want to talk to you about the 4 real and honestly painful reasons behind infidelity. Reasons you might have felt in your own relationship, but no one ever had the courage to say out loud. If you're ready to understand the harsh truth behind this kind of heartbreak, and if you want to protect your own relationship from falling apart, make sure you stay with me until the end of this video. And if you want to be part of a community that talks honestly about the hardest topics, without filters, without sugarcoating, then go ahead and subscribe right now so we can walk this journey together. Reason 1. Feeling ignored and unvalued. Let's be honest. Infidelity usually doesn't begin with desire or temptation. It starts with a simple feeling. When a man feels like he doesn't matter, men are often taught to swallow their feelings and rarely say, "I'm tired, I need your attention." But after months or years of being overlooked, whether it's the daily chores, paying bills, repairs, or family responsibilities, without a thank you or even a simple smile, a man quietly starts to feel invisible. A woman might think everything is normal, but inside, a man carries a deep emptiness. After a hard day, he's not asking for 5-star treatment. He just wants someone to look at him and say, "You're working hard," or "How was your day?" But when he opens the door and only hears routine commands like, "Put the food there," "Change your clothes," not out of meanness, just habit, a small part of his heart breaks because it means, your presence doesn't matter. When the little and big things he does go unnoticed, his mind asks, "For whom am I fighting? Does anyone even see me?" Many times, infidelity starts here. Not because he's looking for a new relationship, but because he's been starving to feel seen for a long time. The good news? Bringing back that feeling isn't hard. Just a few moments of genuine attention a day. A look, a smile, a simple question like, "What bothered you today?" Or, "Thanks for handling that." Even a brief touch or a few seconds hug can remind him, you matter, you are seen. Reason 2. Lack of emotional intimacy. Many think men only want physical closeness, but when they're emotionally hungry, they distance themselves, even if they're still physically present. When emotional connection slowly shrinks to everyday practical questions like, "Did you pay the bill?" Or, "Did you take the kids?" Or, "Why are you late?" The relationship shifts from us to just managing life. When emotional intimacy dries up, a man loses his partner as a companion, supporter, and someone who truly understands him. That's when his mind whispers, "Is there anyone who really gets me?" And that's where emotional distance, and even emotional infidelity, can begin. Real example. A man comes home exhausted and silent, tries to talk about his worries but hears, "Everyone's tired, not just you." Not out of cruelty, just fatigue. He stops sharing, and that silence becomes the start of the distance. If someone outside the relationship simply asks, "Are you okay? What's bothering you?" and listens without judgment, that simple attention can become an emotional anchor that slowly replaces the main relationship. Reason 3. Routine and lack of excitement. No relationship starts with fights or cheating. Most relationships cool down for one simple reason: lack of excitement. At first, everything is fresh and exciting. Messages, dates, laughter, the joy of seeing each other. But then real life steps in, and love turns into routine and repetition. No new conversations, no new activities, no curiosity, no thrill. Everything becomes a repeated version of yesterday. When the relationship loses its spark, a man feels less alive. Not because he's a bad person, but because the human mind naturally craves novelty and emotional stimulation. If he can't find excitement in the relationship, his mind looks elsewhere. And that's where infidelity can start. Real example. A couple lives together for years, see each other every day but feel like they're just next to each other, not truly with each other. No more date nights, no new talks, no energy or enthusiasm, just a scheduled routine. Food, work, TV, sleep, just fulfilling duties, not enjoying the relationship. Now imagine someone outside offers a fresh conversation, a different look, or a new feeling. Not necessarily romantic or sexual, just something that makes him feel alive again. This feeling is addictive for the mind and can lead to a slip. Reason 4. Escaping pressure, stress, and feeling not enough. Men often carry heavy burdens, financial responsibilities, work, family, societal expectations, even self-imposed pressure. But they rarely express this stress or ask for help openly because they feel they must appear strong and logical and fear being seen as weak if they show vulnerability. When all this pressure builds up, their mind searches for a place of peace, not necessarily a new love, just a safe escape from stress. If that safe place isn't found inside the relationship, a man may look for it outside, leading to emotional distance and eventually infidelity. Real example. A man comes home after a tough day looking for peace but faces more demands and criticism. Why are you tired? Why don't you talk? You should do your responsibilities better. He feels no one understands his pressures, and if he speaks up, he fears judgment or appearing weak. That's when his mind looks elsewhere, anywhere to find a few minutes of calm, even if just a brief escape. If you recognize any of these signs in your relationship, know this. Infidelity rarely happens because of a single moment of temptation. It's a long journey of unmet needs, disappointments, and disconnection. But the good news is, it's never too late to turn things around. By recognizing these pains and valuing each other, by accepting that we're all human and imperfect, by learning to be present, to listen, and to support, relationships can come back to life and people can reconnect deeply. If this resonated with you, or if you have a story to share, please write in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe because next time, we'll talk about infidelity from the women's side. An important conversation no one should face alone. And let's never forget this. None of us are exceptions. No one is magically immune. If we ignore these warning signs, if we pretend they don't matter, sooner or later we all wake up and realize we're already caught in something we never thought could happen to us.